Beyoncé is one of the least expected elite celebrities to end up being featured on Katt Williams' unending list of shady characters. In case you missed it, Katt has been the root of most of the celebrity controversies in 2024. Katt has been all about spilling the dirty secrets of the most prominent individuals in Hollywood. And Beyoncé hasn't been left out of the finger pointing. The things that Katt had to say about Queen Bee would have anyone's jaw dropping. Keep watching till the end of this video to see details about how Katt Williams exposes new details showing why Beyoncé is worse than we thought. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Before we get into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to the #1 celebrity jeweler, the Ice Champ. The Ice Champ is doing a special deal for the next 24 hours on diamond watches, chains, and more. Follow @The Ice Champ on Instagram now.
Katt Williams exposes Beyoncé. The entertainment industry has been full of controversies since the beginning of 2024 after Katt Williams went on the Club Shay Shay podcast. Katt did not spare any details about dirty celebrity secrets. He has been relentless in exposing every one of them for who they truly are and the atrocities they have committed in the past and even in the present. He had shocking things to say about the likes of Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart, and many others in the Hollywood scene. But that wasn't even the half of what Katt had to contribute. The comedian was invited to be a guest on the Naked with Carrie Champion podcast, and Katt's presence on the show eventually brought up the subject of Beyoncé. While Katt didn't specifically call out Beyoncé, fans speculated that the comedian's tone and the examples he was trying to convey to Carrie and the audience were definitely pointing at Queen Bee. Katt started talking about the shady deals that go on behind the scenes in the industry and the individuals who benefit from those deals. Katt brought up the situation of Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction at the 2004 Super Bowl event. The comedian explained that it wasn't just some type of unexpected accident, but rather a planned one. The supposed accident set back Janet Jackson's career as she lost some opportunities, which included her being removed from the Grammys list that year. The interesting part was that Justin Timberlake, whom Janet Jackson had performed with at the event, had an opposite result from the incident. Justin's career seemed to have moved to greater heights after the event, and the public, including Katt Williams, couldn't help but think that it was a planned accident. Katt said, "When things go smoothly but they seem chaotic, that means there was a forethought and a plan." The comedian pointed out that some celebrities' reputations are purposely tarnished in order to help other celebrities' reputations triumph. This claim by Katt has been tagged to be one of the major reasons for Beyoncé's uncontested queen status in the music industry in her genre. You might be wondering what this means, as Beyoncé barely displays any public hate or beef towards other artists in her music genre. Well, just as Katt was trying to explain, Queen Bee is allegedly worse than everyone thinks. Let's dig into why this claim might be true. Back in the early 2000s, Beyoncé was still one of the artists who was trying to find her feet in the industry, and so was Amerie. Beyoncé and Amerie were often pitted against each other by comparing their songs and styles. It got more complicated when Beyoncé was accused of stealing Amerie's sound to produce one of her most popular songs, Crazy in Love. The accusation didn't last for long because Beyoncé had connections with the right people who could make it all go away. Soon enough, Amerie, who was on top of her game, just like Beyoncé, started to lose significance in the industry, leading to her being eventually canceled. This gave Beyoncé full control of the game, as she had very few other contenders to compete with. Fans speculated that Beyoncé's perfect connections suppressed the claims and ruined Amerie's chances of going head-to-head with her. Chloe and Hiy Bailey are victims of Beyoncé's shady activities. Beyoncé allegedly taking Amerie down to make way for her own success wasn't the only time she pulled that type of stunt. Beyoncé has also faced backlash from the public for allegedly being the cause of some other female artist careers not taking off. Talking about Beyoncé suppressing women's careers can't be discussed without the honorable mention of the Bailey sisters. It's not news that Chloe and Hiy Bailey have always seen Beyoncé as their godmother in the music industry, as they both often did covers of her songs. Beyoncé soon noticed the sisters and took them under her wing, signing them to her record label, Parkwood Entertainment. Fans thought Chloe and Hiy being Beyoncé's protégés might be the big break the sisters needed, but that wasn't the case. Not only did their careers in the music industry tank, they almost lost their acting careers as well. After they had been under the label for a long while, Hiy Bailey finally released her debut album titled Pieces in 2023. Chloe's album turnout was very unimpressive, as the album sold only 10,000 units in the first week. The outcome seemed so underwhelming, fans blamed Beyoncé for not wanting anyone to compete with her in the industry, even if it was her own protege. Beyoncé, who has a following of 319 million people on Instagram, never promoted the album, or even acted like it was produced under her label. Chloe wasn't about to be an ungrateful person though, and she shut down the rumors of Queen Bee being a terrible mentor. While Chloe was on the Breakfast Club morning show, she was questioned about Beyoncé's shocking lack of support towards the album. Chloe said, "I love Bee, and she supported my sis and I since we had our little locks on YouTube, so it's all love over here. I love her." And when she was asked about the label's attitude concerning album sales, she smiled and replied, "It's all politics." Well, it can be just politics when the owner of the label wants it to be. Beyoncé's other victims. Aelia Banks is another celebrity in the industry who is never backing down from reminding Beyoncé that not everyone is a fan of hers. Banks has always accused Beyoncé of sabotaging black voices in the industry. Banks once went off on her Instagram story saying, "Beyoncé has been trying to write me out of my own narrative for like years. This is like so weird." Banks doesn't think Beyoncé is the saint that everyone thinks she is. She claims she has done some really nasty things behind the scenes that people wouldn't even believe. Banks has even called Beyoncé a joke that she could never get along with. But that's not all. Banks additionally alleged that everything Beyoncé puts out as songs are just pure Mary J. Blige covers, because Queen Bee doesn't have the talent she claims to have. Banks has always taken shots and thrown jabs at Beyoncé, but Beyoncé has never openly responded to any of Banks' allegations. It's safe to say a collaboration between Aelia Banks and Beyoncé is a fantasy that could never come to pass. Another celebrity who recently joined the list of Beyoncé's foes is Hiy Rogers. Hiy is known to have excited the music industry years ago, but she had to pop out in 2022 to set the record straight about Beyoncé. Hiy left the industry due to a long dispute with her then record label, which led to difficulties with her being able to sign under any other record label. Hiy pushed her way back into the headlines after she publicly called out Beyoncé for sampling one of her old songs on the Renaissance album without her permission. Hiy said, "My mind is blown because the level of disrespect and utter ignorance of all three parties involved is astounding." Hiy continued, "I heard this the same way everyone else did.